Welcome back, everybody. Back to Titi's House podcast. Man, I can't help but to start talking about like all this stuff going on with Diddy. My God,
The man, bad boy for life.
bad boy for life. They trying to get him. Okay, so he tried to appeal for $50 million. Even said, now you know.
Oh, you mean bail? He tried.
Try to appeal his bail for $50 million.
Yeah.
And the judge was like, hell no. And he
they-
said he wouldn't even bring no women around him.
The fact that you even got to put that up as a condition is crazy, though. Like, I
Wow.
won't be around no women, I swear.
Yeah, like, I mean, did they think that he was still abusing people or doing all this stuff that, because they're trying to get him on, the freak offs was sex trafficking.
Yeah.
They're saying that you're bringing escorts across county lines
Yeah,
or whatever,
county line,
right?
city, international lines.
International and everything.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, is it a federal crime to be a freak?
Yeah, I hope not. I hope it ain't a federal
Because I'm
crime.
like, at the end of the day, you know,
Because the porn industry exists, so it can't. It's
right?
not.
It can't be.
But there's rules to everything, you know.
Wow.
So I imagine they're like, yeah, they saying just because he was paying, you're paying for sex, they say is illegal.
Okay.
Except for in places like Nevada at the Bunny Ranch. You know, there's little places where you could get away with it in Vegas, the
Wow.
Bunny Ranch
See,
and stuff.
I don't know nothing about. I don't know how you know about that, but I know nothing about none of that stuff. But it's just crazy to me because it's like, okay, he had a freaky lifestyle.
Freaky freak,
He was a freaky deek.
freaky leak.
A freak leak, right?
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah.
A freak leak. So it's like you have a freaky lifestyle, but is it a federal crime to be a freaky person? And then I think about Hugh Hefner,
Yeah.
Playboy.
Dang, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't think Hugh Hefner was having orgies?
Oh, probably.
You think he wasn't paying for sex? I don't know if he was sex trafficking, but let's be real. Diddy's the only one locked up. Do you think Diddy was driving these people across state lines?
No, he was sending people to do it for sure.
You were sending people to do it. And now, this is what really irritates the hell out of me, is now people are coming out and telling their sides of the story. And D.L. Hughley said, you're an accomplice
Yeah.
if you knew about it and now you're talking about it. And I am so in agreement with that because you knew all this stuff. Y'all was going and picking him up. He was paying you probably millions of dollars, $1,000, $2,000, I don't know, thousands of dollars to go do these jobs for him, to go get these people to involve. And then now you want to tell?
What do you think though? Like, if somebody puts a gun to your head and makes you do a crime, do you feel like you?
Well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna probably do the crime if you
Yeah.
put a gun to my
Yeah,
head.
so
I'm
they
not
probably
gonna
felt like
lie.
that.
Titi is gonna do what you say. Okay, how long I got to do it? Okay,
Yeah.
I might do that if somebody puts a gun
That's
to my
probably
head.
how they felt,
but
though.
do you think that he really was putting a gun to his head, to their
I mean,
head?
he did have them scratched off serial numbers on them burners, on them AKs and stuff at the raid they
Man.
found. So it ain't.
But
no
he could have
telling.
purchased them like that. Is it illegal to purchase guns without
Yeah.
serial numbers?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. See, that just shows you I'm not aware. But I'm
Yeah.
just, to me, it's like, y'all know Diddy wasn't the only one doing
no,
this.
for sure. And
You
it's
know
a
what I'm
RICO.
saying?
RICO usually involves multiple people because it's an organization.
Yeah.
Think about the Young Thug RICO. It was mad
And
at them.
is it that these sex workers were being brought against their will, or
That's what
is
they
it that they were being paid for sex? Because I'm sure they were being compensated
Oh,
well
for sure.
enough, and y'all was
Well.
coming willingly to
Yeah.
participate in the freak offs. Like at the end of the day, like I guess we won't really find out until
the hearing?
the hearing and
Yeah.
the case comes to trial, right? Which will probably take a while. How long you think it's going to take? Like Diddy's going to have to sit in jail
For a minute.
for a year or 2 or 3
Yeah.
until he goes to trial?
And hopefully no weirdness happens because he's in the same jail that, what was it, Weinstein or Epstein? One of them dudes was in. You know, he done
Epstein.
disappeared. He died. So,
Yeah.
Or they say he hung himself. So
They said that the prisoners, the warden of this detention center, because he's not in a prison. I think he's like in
it's
a
like a
detention.
holding federal.
Yeah,
holding
like a
cell or
holding
something.
federal cell was saying that his life is in danger.
Yeah, they put him
because
on
the
suicide
prisoners
watch.
want to get or that the prisoners want to get to him.
Oh, word?
yeah,
To
like,
Diddy?
yeah.
Dang.
I mean, you can imagine that. Like, I don't even think R. Kelly's life was in danger like that.
Nah, he in
Why
there
is
singing.
Diddy life in such danger? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah,
Like,
that is crazy.
But they're saying like the prisoners want to get at him.
Maybe they just want a record deal.
Nah. The bad boy for life. Y'all
Yeah,
don't want
for life.
y'all don't want no record deal now. All this
Bad
stuff.
boy
I
doing
just feel
life.
like you're innocent until you're proven guilty.
No, 100%.
Like, why is it like they raided this house in California like a couple months ago?
Yeah, like in
He's
March.
been here. He wasn't fleeing. He wasn't doing anything. He was waiting for all this to happen. And now you press federal charges against him. And now y'all don't want to give him a bond.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like that's fair. I think everybody, unless he killed somebody, like, I don't feel like you should hold him from being on bond. That's not fair. There's things that need to be done while he's waiting to go to trial. Because he may go to prison for life.
Yeah.
That's what they trying to give him.
Yeah, for
a life
real.
sentence.
I feel like you definitely should be innocent. If you're really guilty, I mean innocent till proven guilty, then
Well,
you
why are
should
we
have
not doing that?
Yeah, you should be.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's fair. I mean, a lot of people are saying, you know, he abused the women. He made them do things that he was drugging them to do the things that I feel like, I don't know Cassie, but I feel like you stayed for the money. You know, maybe she didn't have the money that he had. He was supposed to make her a star, and he never really made her a big star. She could have been. She had a great voice. Like, like he kept her, you know, right here.
Yeah, I mean, but she also was signed to him, so she couldn't do nothing that he wouldn't allow her to do.
That's
she can't
true,
release
too.
music. She can't do nothing. You know, it's
Oh,
mad
wow,
people
that
in
too.
deals that you got to do what the label says.
Yeah, that's true too. Like you got to, and a lot of people can't get out their deals. So maybe that
Exactly.
was the situation with her. I
So
don't
she's
know.
like, I'm gonna just stay and eat.
It's
good
a lot of
every
things
day.
that are coming out about her too. You
Like
know what
what?
I'm
What you
saying?
heard?
About her, you know, just about her knowing that he was abusive to Kim Porter, and that she laughed about it. Like she thought it was funny. Like, why would you think that you're so special that you're not going to get abused? If a man is abusive to one woman, it's
in
something
him.
that's common,
Yeah.
and it's in him
Yeah, he's seen
to
his
be
parents
abusive
do
to
it or
women.
something. He's seen his father do it, so he just think it's right or something.
Right, exactly. So he was like, that's karma on her behalf. Like,
For real.
you got what you deserved because you seen that he was abusive to Kim and you put up with it. I mean, you seen him doing it and then you came into a relationship. You were in a 10-year relationship. You mean in 10 years you couldn't leave? And I mean, this is just my opinion. Like, I know abuse is abuse and people stay in relationships because of maybe they don't have the money to leave, or maybe, you know, different reasons that people stay. You know, actually, I want to talk about the different reasons people stay in relationships, you know, once they, you know, they're being abused.
I mean, did you hear that when Cassie was dating Kid Cudi back in the day?
He blew up
Kid
his
Cudi
car.
So
Yeah, like, why he didn't go to jail for that?
probably wasn't no proof, wasn't no ring cam. Cudi probably ain't say nothing about it, you know. So I don't know who put that.
Was
out,
it even in the news?
Nah,
Because I ain't never heard. Have you ever heard about it? I haven't.
Not till she spoke about it.
Man, when I tell you, it's like, why is it now? So I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I said, well, who do you think, besides Cassie, because I think that you can go and sue somebody for mental abuse, emotional abuse, and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But now all this other stuff on top of Cassie's situation with him is coming, saying he was abusing Cassie, but now all this other stuff is coming up. Like, who leaked all this stuff?
Yeah.
Because there's like...
They say he kept footage of all the freak-offs. They said they found like mad terabytes of footage. Like he was just saving it.
So he was doing what R. Kelly was doing?
Yeah, we gonna find out when that footage leaked.
Man, the feds are leaking footage. Why are y'all taking pictures of 1,000 bottles of baby oil and showing that to social media? Like, that should be against them doing that.
Yeah, they're trying to fry
That's
him in
unethical.
public. Yeah.
You're trying to...
Public opinion.
Right. That's not fair either. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's going to be such a big trial. Like, public opinion, that's important. Like, y'all, why are y'all leaking that stuff? Yeah. And then they said they found 700 dildos. Did you hear that?
What? No, I ain't hear about that.
I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they was like, they found 700 dildos. I was like, what?
That's crazy.
Diddy, oh my God!
That's more than a store got.
Man,
sex stores don't even got 700.
They were saying that even stores. That's what the person I was talking to yesterday was talking about. Like, damn, you go into the store, it's not even 1,000 bottles of baby oil on the shelf.
Know, yeah,
like, is that a special order?
Yeah, heck yeah. He
like,
know Johnson
man, at the end of the day, it's like, And it was Johnson and Johnson. They put Diddy. Did they put Sean Johnson and Johnson?
That's
Man,
funny.
when I
though.
tell you,
Internet is
man,
hilarious.
the internet is hilarious, though. It is. It's like, but I feel like it's innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure the stuff that they're saying, like the feds wouldn't get involved if they did
yeah.
not have a case. We all know that.
And maybe they got some stuff that's probably why they're not letting them out on bond, because they might have some stuff that we
don't even know
crazy
about,
that they're like
that
no,
they can't even disclose.
No siree, yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, it might be some
That is so
crazy
true.
stuff in there.
Man, because they trying to throw him under the jail.
For real.
I just tell you one thing, like, because they were saying, he sued Ciroc, didn't he? They're saying that they're the owners of Ciroc.
His partners in Ciroc.
Yeah, so they were saying that this is after he did that.
Yeah.
It was like you can't mess with the top notch.
Yeah, because he won $1 billion in that lawsuit.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Wow,
And
I did
then
not know that.
Literally, like 2 months later, all this stuff started happening.
Yeah, I think they're saying speculation is that the Ciroc people that he sued.
Yeah, they like, oh, word.
Oh, this is what you want to do?
We got something
we
on
got
you,
something
too.
on you. Exactly. Is that? I mean, that's not. I don't think that's fair.
No, it's not. It's not. But when you're dealing with people in power, they're gonna flex their muscle. When you trying to, they be like, oh, you think you the big dog?
So why did he sue Ciroc?
He was saying that it was like racist type of things. They weren't putting his stuff to the forefront. Like they were making it like a urban type of thing. And he's like, they just was categorizing it. And he's like, they're not giving me the proper shelf appearance,
Right.
things like that. And he won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he definitely had a case.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're saying. They saying, man, he went against the Ciroc owners, and they were like, oh, we retaliating.
Yep.
Because at first I said, do you think 50 Cent leaked everything? Because 50 Cent know a lot, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. 50 Cent know a lot. But it was just like, dang, 50, did you tell? But 50 would have told a long time ago.
Yeah, and
now, 50 wouldn't have told because 50 ain't no snitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 50 wouldn't have
50
never
is
told.
not a snitch at the end of the day. He laughs about certain things, but he ain't going to snitch on nobody.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Even if he don't like you, he ain't snitching.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's like, damn, man, it's like so much going on. Like, you don't know what to believe. And for me, I was like, in the 80s, you growing up in the hip hop era, and it's like he was one of the founding fathers of hip hop, man.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's so hard to just see his downfall. Like, I love Diddy. Like, at the end of the day, I don't know nothing about his lifestyle. I just know what he's put out there, what I've seen in the last couple of years. I've heard speculation, but it never came out to the forefront until now. But you people that was picking up the escorts from the airport, that was buying the plane tickets for the escorts, the ones that was buying the baby oil and making sure it was at the party and the dildos, you are an accomplice to all of this. You are an accomplice to people being abused and being put in situations that they didn't want to be in. You know what I'm saying? You're an accomplice. You were being paid for that. Don't come out now and speak your truth. You should feel guilty for all the shit that that now you're talking shit about because he's been arrested. And I don't care. I mean, for me, I know that he probably had power and probably had, like you said, guns. I don't know what Sean Puffy Combs is capable of.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you knew this. You, like the lady that was Cassie's, I think she was like a stylist or a makeup artist. You knew that she was being abused, and now you're speaking on it. Like, to me, I think that's really, you're an accomplice.
Yeah.
You might as well say that you abused her too, because you allowed it to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe Cassie, I'm just playing devil's advocate, but, maybe Cassie was telling her, like, no, don't say that. She might have said something to Cassie, like, do you want me to help? Do you need help? Or how can I help? And Cassie's like, no, there's nothing that can be done.
Well, that's why I feel like it's important. A lot of people, I think, are confused. Like, they're like, dang, she stayed for so long. Did she stay for the money? Did she stay for other reasons? Like, why does somebody who is being abused stay in a relationship? And there's several reasons. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about that, because it's like you try to rationalize. Even for me, I'm like, I'm trying to rationalize, like, why would she stay? It got to be money. Maybe she didn't have no money and she had to stay for the money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This is, you try to rationalize why somebody stayed in that situation. Why would they allow somebody to abuse them and do them wrong all the time, you know? So I just want to shed some light on abuse and why people stay. So
Okay.
through Psych Central, you know, there's an article. It's called 13 Reasons Why People Who Are Abused Stay. So let's talk about that. Some people, which I didn't ever think about this, it says they have a disorder. It says a small number of the population is antisocial personality disorder, a sociopath or psychopath, and sadistic. Wow. These disorders gain pleasure from seeing others in pain and even more pleasure when they are the ones inflicting the agony. So this is from his perspective. You know what I'm saying?
That he has a disorder.
That he has a disorder. So, you know, people might, you know, if you say, well, he's bipolar,
Yeah.
you make excuses, you know, for what their behaviors. And it sounds to me like he was inflicting agony. Maybe he was a psychopath or a sociopath. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. Did he have a mental disorder?
Yeah,
Is he bipolar?
All the drugs, you know, the drugs will take you down that wormhole and
Right.
start to deteriorate. So maybe
Right.
so.
Exactly. So we don't know what kind of drugs they were taking. They said they have several things that show they were on coke.
Yeah, that pink cocaine. They
What
said
is that pink cocaine?
I don't know, that's that. I never seen it. That's that celebrity cocaine. I only seen white
I've
cocaine
only seen
before.
white cocaine. Not saying that I've seen it because I've seen it in person.
Yeah.
I've never seen cocaine in person, I don't think.
Yeah.
I haven't. Now that
Yeah.
I think about it,
Yeah,
no,
they
I've
got
never
some.
have it. So to say pink cocaine, like what is pink cocaine? Is
Yeah.
it like an extra additive
Look.
that makes
Change
you
the color,
Yeah,
yeah.
man, makes you change your colors.
Yeah.
You're like a chameleon after taking that. You never know. But seriously, so maybe he was, you know, maybe he has some kind of mental problem.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
he didn't grow up. I don't think he grew
Got
up with
to.
his father. He only grew up with his mother. Like
his
maybe
father was a drug dealer and was locked up, I'm pretty sure. So,
Oh yeah,
he
I think
didn't
that's
have-
his history of his father. So you know, and you know they say that they abuse others for personal pleasure. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But there's people that do that. Even having sex with somebody, you're hurting them, and to you hurting them like okay, everybody know you done
little
probably been
choking
choked.
ain't-
A little choking ain't never hurt nobody.
Yeah.
Little choking never hurt nobody. But when you are inflicting pain on somebody,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're, you know, pinching them, slapping them,
Yeah.
pulling their hair. Maybe you're being really rough sex,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
really rough sex. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what he got pleasure out of. And then after you're doing that for so long with one and the same person,
Yeah, you want to do
it becomes boring. And now you want to inflict that pain and agony on other people. You get pleasure out of that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's plausible.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's plausible. So do you think he's a psychopath or a sociopath?
Yes, he's some type of path. Not an empath, but one
Yeah.
of them others, you know?
Not an empath. Like he's
Yeah.
not empathetic.
Yeah, he's one
but
of the
he's
other
definitely
paths, yeah.
because I mean, what else could it be?
Yeah, because I can't imagine thinking that is right and getting away with it for so long.
For
and
so
just
long,
feeling
you
like
just
you
think
the top
it's
dog.
yeah.
Like, it's like,
You think he felt like he was invincible?
invincible for sure.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, man. That's crazy. Like he paid somebody to keep that video from 2013 or something
Yeah.
like that.
50,000 to keep it, but
Yeah.
then it made me think like, who had it? Unless maybe, but they said that maybe
You're an accomplice.
Yeah, but they saying that he had it. Like he would text it to Cassie. Like, yeah, I still got this. Just so you know, just on some abuse. Type
Really?
Thing. Yeah, yeah.
He was that bad?
Yeah.
That's sociopathic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a sociopath.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. I
Come
seen little
on.
articles about saying he would do things like that too.
It's crazy. Like, how can you abuse somebody that you love so much? Like, never heard of him abusing his children. Like, you love your kids. Like,
Yeah.
you've never abused them in any type of way. You love your children. And you love this woman, but you abused her so much.
Shoot, maybe he didn't love her. We never heard him say, "I love Cass." I never heard him say it.
Maybe he just felt like he was entitled.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you mines.
Okay, so another reason is some abusers act out their dysfunctional behavior on others because it was done to them. So this is why people abuse other people.
Okay.
Not why they stay. I'm sorry. So let me reiterate that. Why they abuse other people. So maybe, He was raised by his mom. Maybe he was abused at some point. Maybe
Yeah.
some type of sexual abusiveness, or, you know, you don't know, traumatic childhood experience that makes him an abuser. Because most
Yeah.
abusers are because of
Abused at
they've
a
been
point.
abused themselves.
Yeah. It don't make it right though.
Did
I
he
mean,
abuse animals? Because most kids that are
yeah.
like been abused, they abuse animals.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I wonder if it's something that his mom might have seen.
Oh, seeing in the early age
Yeah,
from
early
him?
ages of abuse. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or is this something that happened when you got notoriety and money? Because it can come from that too. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know, a lot of times people that abuse other people have anger issues. Do you think maybe he had anger
No,
issues?
he definitely he ain't, the way he was dragging Cassie through that hallway, he definitely had anger
But they said
issues.
in that, and I'm not saying it's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's right. They said that she was going through his phone, and that she took his phone, and that's why he chased her down the hallway and went to get his phone from her and dragged her. I don't know. That's what they're saying. I don't know how, true that is.
Yeah, I've had my phone gone through, and I never reacted like that.
No.
No,
Ooh, I don't think you go through somebody's phone, man.
yeah,
You
that's
don't know
what you going
what you gonna
or
find.
how they
I
gonna
would
react.
never.
Obviously, yeah,
I would never do that.
yeah. I'm not that type of person either.
Oh my God. Another thing is do you think he has a personality disorder? I think he comes off as arrogant
Yeah, super.
for sure.
Yeah,
Diddy. I mean,
cocky. Yeah,
a little cocky, a little arrogant. I mean, when you watched him on Making the Band,
yeah.
like the comments that he would
Go
have,
get my
and
cheesecake. Walk to
yeah,
Brooklyn for
walk
my
to Brooklyn and
cheesecake.
go get, like, he felt entitled.
Yeah,
And people that are abusive are normally feel like it's some type of personality disorder. You think you better than everybody else. And I don't know, like I said, could it be a money thing, or is it just who he is before the money? Because I think money changes people.
we got to hear from some of the people who went to Howard with him.
Oh, I'm
Hear what-
curious.
yeah,
I'm curious.
Some of y'all come forward and let us know if he was doing stuff like this back in school.
Man, I don't know. I feel like, at the end of the day, I feel like he probably has, people that are abusive too have control issues. They want to
True.
control everything. Right?
Yeah, what
Like, they want to control their environment, control the people that they're with. Like, I could see him as being controlling.
I mean, yeah, he been a boss of a $1 million plus. I mean, he was a billionaire. Was a billionaire. So I'm pretty sure they about to take all that from him.
Man,
Hopefully,
it's crazy.
overnight life can change. So be careful what you do and.
I
move
think that if you
accordingly.
know that, I think that people think because you have money that it protects you in a certain, and it does. It can only protect you but so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you get to a certain point, because I'm sure, like, people knew, like I said, a lot of people were protecting what he was doing because of the money. They were being paid to do certain things.
Yeah, hush money.
You
Yeah,
know, it's hush money, or it's money to say, I want you to go do this for me, and I'm going to give you $10,000, $20,000. People would shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't have no money. You know what I'm saying? How many artists did he rip off? Like, how do you feel like you can do? And I personally, like I said, I like Diddy, but at the end of the day, why do you feel like you could do that to people?
I know it's blowing me because that Mary J Blige albums. It's like, oh man, he talking on the intro and stuff. I'm like, damn, I can't even listen to the intro of this album no more.
Wow, why?
Man, he gonna. I just hope it doesn't affect the artist who didn't do no wrong.
Yeah. The artists that he was, people that were under Bad Boy, like a
Yeah.
lot. Even Shine spoke out, like,
Oh yeah.
it was kind of, disheartening to hear that, because it was like, dang, Diddy definitely was out here doing some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Sean's like he said Diddy ruined his life, but to be honest, this is just me being devil's advocate. It might have him going to the music industry is so corrupt. Sean might have not have been able to transition into what he is now if he didn't go through the hardships of having to see how grimy it was and
Right.
having to be forced back to his country and stuff. So know
I didn't
he's
even
saying-
know he was from Belize.
Yeah, he's like the prime minister over there right now. or
Right.
something.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Because
he's
how
doing-
long has Sean been out of jail?
Maybe like less than 10 years. Maybe
Okay.
like 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, because I remember when he came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It's just sad, even with that. You know what I'm saying? Because Shine was like his next new artist.
Yeah, he was the one. Sounded just like Biggie and everything.
And I guess Shine is saying that he didn't actually shoot anybody.
Yeah, no, he's saying Diddy did it.
Dang. And he thought Diddy was going to have his back.
Yeah.
And Diddy end up throwing, because they was coming after both of them, wasn't they?
Yep, and they said Diddy had people pointing at, nah, he did it.
Now, was that whole incident when he was with J-Lo, or is that before another incident that happened? Remember, there was another incident that happened when he was with J-Lo, and J-Lo ended up breaking up with him and just moving on. I guess her people were like, hey,
Yeah, get out of there.
You got to get out of that. You can't be messing around with him. He's not a good look for your career. You think that's what happened?
I'm not too sure. I'm not familiar with the J-Lo incident and Diddy.
Yeah, it was like an incident that happened in a club too. Same kind of incident. They probably was like, if you want to be, because she took off after that.
Yeah.
Back then, you know, she was still Jenny from the block.
Yeah.
Then she turned into and morphed into a superstar.
Yeah,
like
for real.
she was no longer Jenny from the block.
Yeah, she had
So-
to drop the block, right?
Yeah, to drop the block, and she was just Jenny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you got to think your career, in order to take your career to the next level, you definitely have to do some things. You might have to leave some people behind that you originally
yeah.
came in with. I mean, it's a lot of things that changed throughout the course of that, you know, that period. And that was like, when she was with Diddy's, that was in like in the early 90s, wasn't it?
Probably late 90s, early 2000s, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was
Let's see when
way.
Jenny from
I
the
thought it
Block
was at
came out.
least about 20 years ago, because he helped her with that song.
I mean, that was 20 years ago.
Was
Jenny
it?
from the block. Let's see when that came out. Jenny from the block.
Man.
Here goes a song by Mary. 2002 years. It's been 22 years since that. came out.
Wow, 22 years since she did.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted them to get back together. I thought they made a good couple. But hey, I did not know all this other
Yeah.
stuff.
She might have seen all this and been like,
Hell no, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
man.
spicy Latina gonna put up with that.
We gonna fight back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Diddy might have
What?
left. He like, oh.
We gonna fight you back probably. I'm just saying. She from New York too.
Yeah.
We gonna fight you back now. You ain't putting your hands on no Latina. We gonna get our brothers. She ain't got no brothers, but she get her cousins.
Yeah.
Her cousins and her friends. But let's talk about it. So we talked about, you know, why people abuse. I want to talk about why people stay.
Okay.
Because that was really my focus, and I want to get back to that. I think a lot of times people they deny the fact that they're being abused. They feel like maybe, you know, this is happening for right now, and this
And it
person
might
can
stop.
it'll probably stop
Yeah.
eventually. So people stay, you know, and that's everybody's been asking. Like Cassie done stayed all this time. Kim stayed for, you know, she had his son, Christian, and then she had the twin girls. And then, you know what I'm saying? He's had babies throughout the course. He had another daughter that he had while he was with Kim. So it's like, what was he doing? Like, people stayed in those types of relationships, and they were being, I mean, that's emotional abuse. That's mental abuse. And she was being physically abused.
All three of them.
All three of those things. Like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, why did you stay? And then Cassie seen this, and she still, you know, stayed with him. She still
seeing what
partook
was up.
in being in a relationship with him, knowing that he was abusing Kim. You know what I'm saying? So they say that people that are experiencing emotional abuse, they don't know that they are in an abusive cycle of abuse. And we don't know with people that are being abused, sometimes they go from one abusive relationship to the next.
That's all they know.
That's all they know.
They think it's normal to be treated
It's
like
normal
that.
to be treated that way. It's a
Yeah.
lot of women that attract the same type of dude. It's like you're attract. That's why you got to date outside of what you're normally accustomed to, because at the end of the day, you are attracting. You have to look at yourself and visit yourself and say, "Hey, I keep attracting the same kind of fella."
Yeah, it gotta be you in that situation. Not to
Because
say it's right.
you want. I'm not saying you want to be abused, but that's what you're used to, being abused by somebody, because you equate that as love.
Yeah, exactly.
Abuse is not love.
No, not at all.
At all. Okay, so you got to make sure you're not in that abusive cycle. You got to get yourself out of. You got to get help to get yourself out of being in an abusive cycle, and you keep meeting the same guy over and over, you know, she was with Diddy for 10 years. He hired this personal trainer, and she falls in love with the personal trainer because probably he was sweet to her.
Yeah.
Very, you know, she was probably telling him what was going on, and he probably was like, you need to get out of that. And she ended up marrying this
and
guy.
had kids with him too.
Yeah,
right?
and had 2 daughters with him. Like, at the end of the day, you know, she knew she was getting abused. She met somebody different and realized, wow, what I've been in for the last 10 years is not healthy.
Love, yeah.
This is not love. This is love. Because how do you fall in love with the personal trainer that Diddy hired for you?
You know what's crazy? Diddy changed. You know, he released the album last year, and he had changed his name to Love.
Yeah, I remember. Love.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, exactly.
But they said that he was really trying to change what he had been doing. He wasn't having no freak offs anymore. Like, the freak offs stopped. No, you don't think so? I'm just saying. You looking at me like I don't think that happened. But they're saying that he really was changing. He became Love because he was trying to change, you know, people's perceptions of who he was.
Yeah.
And that really he was really trying to change his life. I believe that people realize, maybe Cassie made him realize that, wow, I was an abusive person.
I was bugging out.
And they said they were on drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs can make you do some crazy stuff.
No,
don't you think?
For sure, yeah. It is. It's true.
You don't ever know. People that are being abused often normalize the person's behavior. We think it's normal. That's why they stay in that same cycle, keep meeting that same man, because they think it's normal behavior, but it's really unhealthy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta internalize and find out why you.
Yeah, why you are accepting this behavior from other people.
And why are you trying to make excuses for it and normalize it? Yeah. I think we all make excuses for when somebody's acting up. Mm-hmm. You know, you try to defend. I think we try to defend them. Yeah. And in that, you know, that's normalizing it. We cannot defend people's behaviors or patterns of behaviors that they keep doing over and over again. If someone continues to do something over and over again,
it's their character.
It's their character and who they are. You cannot change that. Mm-hmm. People have to change for themselves. We can't change them. Love can't change nobody. Most victims have low self-esteem, right?
Oh, for sure.
Definitely. They have low self-esteem, and that prevents them from leaving. Maybe they don't feel like they're worthy. Maybe they don't feel like they can do better than with the person that they're with.
Yeah.
That this person loves them so much that they'll never get that love again.
Anywhere,
that is not love. Abuse is not love. Abuse does not equal love, okay? Somebody abusing you, they don't respect you. They don't love you. You have to have self-love for yourself. Love yourself. When you love you, can't nobody come into your environment or into a relationship with you when you love yourself.
Yeah. Because
you're not going to allow that.
Yeah, because you dictate how it moves in.
Exactly. You set boundaries for yourself. Like, I'm not doing this with you because I already know that this is not right. I have my boundaries. That's what it's funny because I follow this site, and I've said it before, I follow this site on Facebook, and I read the women on there that expose certain men on there, and I'm like, but you opened the door. You know what I'm saying? You knew it, you seen it, but you're opening the door to it. Like, sometimes we allow the facade of somebody. Like, people are showing you really who they are. You just don't want to believe it. When somebody shows you who they are, you best believe that shit.
No, for sure.
Because some people can't hide who they are. Not for a long period of time. Introductory might be there, but after a while, you're going to see who they really are.
Yeah.
For real. I know, because I've been in that situation where somebody showed me
a representative
themselves, and when I actually seen who they were, I was like, what the fuck? Where did he come from?
Got myself into?
Where's the person that I met? People often say, like, you're not who I met. You're not the person that I fell in love with, because people are not showing you who they are. They're not transparent. You got to pay attention to the signs, because guess what? They're there. The red flags are there. You're just making them yellow flags, and you're making them green flags, and you don't think that they exist, but they do. You know, you can't, we always think we stay in situations, or they stay in abusive relationships because they feel like they can change the person. You know what I'm saying? You can't change your partner. You can't change how they behave. They have to get the help that they need for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Person has to get the help that they need for themselves so that they can change. And then they may change for you eventually,
Yeah,
but you got to let them go and heal themselves because they have their own trauma that they have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Once they deal with their trauma, they may be able to be healthier in a relationship. Maybe they don't love themselves enough
Maybe
to
they're
love someone
hiding
else.
or masking something that went on in their life that they're trying to
Absolutely.
escape.
That trauma, man. There's people that have trauma. And sometimes people that are abused stay because they form trauma bonds with the person that they're with.
That,
yeah. There's traumatic bonds that you bond with that person. The abuse.
Because you've had similar experiences.
Exactly. Like that's crazy, but it's people form trauma bonds and they look for the same partner. Like you gotta realize that the person that you're with that's abusing you is not going to change while they're in that situation. You have to remove yourself from that situation and allow them to deal with whatever it is that they're internalizing and being abusive for. You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody abused them. Maybe their father or mother was abusive. If they talk to you nasty or whatever. Because I'm going to just tell you, as a woman out here dating, and I don't know if you've experienced this as a man, but as a woman, I can only give my perspective. A lot of men are quick to call a woman a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Hoe, bitch, or call you all kinds of names. And it's like, where does that come from?
That's the only way they know how to react. When I see somebody just be like aggressive, I'll be out. I'm quick to leave.
Have you ever had a woman like call you names?
Not necessarily, but I've seen like just an aggression, like just something. And I always say I never like to be talked to like a child. So if anybody ever says something to me in that instance, I'd be like,
you're like, nah, because it could go further.
Yeah, because
at least you recognize it.
Yeah. Because it could trigger me.
It.
I know how it makes me feel, and I never want to react in any type of way. So I'm gone. I'm out.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. And it's like, I was married to somebody for 17 years.
Yeah.
Ain't never called me out my name. A bitch, a hoe, like. Never heard those words. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like this new era I don't know if it's like because women call themselves bitches sometimes, like they feel like it's okay. I don't know the reasoning for it, but it's just a man is quick to call a woman a hoe or a bitch.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. It's so hard. Like if a man talking to me and I say something and they be like, bitch, you crazy or something, I'll be like, oh no, I can't deal with you. Because I already know what this is going to lead to. You feel comfortable with calling me a bitch, and I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. You go on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Most people that are abused stay in abuse because they're afraid of leaving. They don't have the financial means to leave. I think
that's the main reason most people stay, the money part.
Afraid, the money part. Because when usually the abuser is controlling too.
Yeah.
They control the money, the finances. Oh, you can't get this money. You don't have your own bank account. You ain't driving. You know what I'm saying?
You got nowhere to go. You don't got no family. I think a lot of that.
I'm going to tell you, as a child, when I was a child, my father was abusive to my mother. And it was a controlling abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not ever going to learn how to drive a car. Never had your own bank account. Like, those forms of abuse. You know what I'm saying?
How long did it take her to leave that situation?
Oh, it didn't take long. It didn't take long. But we recognized the abuse. You know what I'm saying? I always said, it's so funny because I see my brothers as men and I've never seen them be abusive or controlling or anything like that. And I think it comes from being in a situation where you've experienced it, that you don't want to project that type of pain on anybody. It could go both ways. You could either say, I'll never be that, or you can turn out to be that.
Yeah, that's all
it could go both ways. You know what I'm saying? There's so much things that you see that make you want to, I don't know what makes anybody want to be abusive. If you've been abused your whole life, why would you want to project the same pain that you've experienced? And a lot of men that are abusive, that's the reason that they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they've been abused. It could go either way.
Yeah, I think
positive or the negative.
It's hard to say this, but I do think it's all personal choice. Because it's ultimately up to you to decide how you're gonna treat people.
Yeah.
It's not on nobody else.
No, it is up to you. It's a
up to
conscious
you.
decision to be a good person.
Yeah, it's
a
like,
good human
yeah,
at the
man.
end of the day. People that, are afraid of leaving is because they fear death.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill you if you leave.
That's what Cassie
I can
said.
never escape this. But it's crazy because when Cassie left, people were like shocked. After 10 years, she left, and then all of a sudden she's with somebody else in a new relationship. And Diddy never went after her.
Pretty sure he did.
You think so?
Did, yeah. He had to.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying he never went after her because she never turned around and came back.
True.
Usually women that are abused, it's a cycle.
Yeah,
you leave, you come back, you leave, you come back until you make the conscious decision to leave and never come back. See, what we don't know is, did Cassie leave within the 10-year period and come back?
Yeah.
Because that could have very well happened. We just wasn't aware of it. They kept it hush hush. There's ways to keep things hush hush. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really, we don't know that. That's the part we don't know. In the case, will it come out?
Yeah, I think all that's going to come
All
out.
that's
I'm
probably
pretty
going to come out
she's
in
one
the
of
case.
the lead witnesses in this whole thing.
But people are afraid that person, you don't know, when somebody threatens your life, you stay because you're like, I'm going to continue to be this victim, but I'm alive and I'm not 6 feet under.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what that person that's being abused is being told. There's people that have been sexually abused by somebody and said, if you tell anybody, I will kill your mom and dad. If you tell your mom and dad, I will kill them. So a lot of kids don't tell because of that reason.
Yeah.
So you don't know what type of manipulation that they're using to keep that person there. You know what I'm saying? With threats of control, how to control them. Cycles of control can be really deep. You never know. The person is just like, it's a toxic relationship. Relationships that are toxic are hard to leave. One person is, the person that's abusing that person is going to do things that make you stay. I don't know. I just don't know. It's crazy. I've never been in that situation, so I don't know. But you're a hostage in your relationship. And that, to me, that's sad. It's funny because you don't know what other people are saying when when I was going to get divorced, my girlfriends were like, are you crazy? Like, he makes good money. Why would you leave? You have a house, you have a new car, you have this, you have that. Those things don't matter when you're not happy. And I'm not saying I've been abused, but I'm saying those things don't matter when you're not happy. Those things, that's the pressure of society saying, if you go out here, it might not be no different. You might get the same thing. The relationship might not work. You know what I'm saying? So just try and stay in your situation because you can make that better.
I think that's weak people that think like that.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, I'll start at ground zero 100 times if I'm unhappy in any situation,
Yeah.
It's like...
I was watching social media and it was somebody it was like the girl said in the video, she was saying that people would tell her, like, nobody wants you with 4 kids. Where you gonna go? What man wants you with 4 kids? What? And that's the thing that people would say, even to me, like, you got 3 kids. Where you going?
Yeah.
What you mean I got 3 kids? So what? Yeah. I got an education. I can get out here and grind for myself.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Just be by yourself.
Be by yourself. I grind by myself. I stayed by myself for a long time. After I got divorced. I wasn't out here. I was dating, but I wasn't out here trying to be married to nobody. I was married for 17 years. Damn if I want to wash somebody's underwear or clean up after them. No, I don't want to do that. So at the end of the day, it's like, you can't pressure the society or your family or your friends pressuring you to try to make things work. If it doesn't work for you and your feelings are against it, get up and go. Don't stay there because people feel like you should be patient or you should try because there's nothing out here in society.
Let them stay then.
Let them stay with him then if they don't want you to go. Exactly. There's no such thing as being patient and trying to work things out. If you're not happy, leave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're being abused, leave. The abuser is not going to change while you're there. You have to leave for them to change. That's like an alcoholic. is not going to change if the liquor is there.
Yeah.
The liquor has to be removed out the situation. Like at the end of the day, you have to think about that. You know what I'm saying? And people stay too. I mean, people stay too because they say, damn, I've invested 10 years in this marriage. I'm sure Cassie thought about that. I've been in this relationship for 10 years. I can't give up. Then people going to look at me and be like, you've been in it for 10 years. You're giving up. No. Hey.
Start over.
It's better to start. Look at her. She started over and it's so much better for her. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't stay because you feel like you've built that person up. I mean, I felt like that in my marriage too. I was like, damn, I've been with this person 17 years. Like I started with nothing. And now to leave when this person has it all going on, it doesn't matter. That's not going to make money. Don't make nobody happy. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to be happy internally. You got to have self-love, man. At the end of the day, you got to have self-love.
Self-love.
You know, people are afraid of what people will say.
Mm-hmm.
What will society say about me leaving? You know?
Yeah.
You don't have to care about that. Care about your own health and well-being, your own mental health and well-being. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with leaving an abusive relationship. And it will be hard, but you can do it. You can do it. Yeah. There's a lot of women, like you said. I mean, I'm sure Cassie came out of that relationship with no money. We don't know.
She probably had a great support system in that trainer. Whoever she was with probably held her down. To
her parents
like
too. You don't know if her parents even knew she was being abused.
Yeah.
Like you hiding it from people because you don't want people to know that you're an abusive. Because you feel like people are gonna be, judgmental. Like what? You letting him beat you up? Like it ain't nobody letting nobody do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to leave. I think about my situation with my mother when she was being abused. You know. At that time, she didn't have a job. You have 6 kids. You don't have a job. Yeah, you have no financial stability to leave somebody. Mm-hmm. How do you decide to leave? You're in this country by yourself with no support whatsoever. How do you leave?
You gotta put a plan together.
Man, did I see that plan come together? And did I see it be successful? I did. I seen it. I seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a person that's controlling and abusive does not want you to work, did not want you to learn how to drive, wanted you to be at home,
don't want you to learn
cooking
English.
And cleaning, didn't want you to learn English. Like, and this is in my mother's situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I always felt like she pushed me to do. Okay, you had a child at 18. That's okay. Doesn't mean you can't go to college. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean you can't be successful.
Yeah, she didn't want you to make the same mistake.
Yeah, she was like, hey, this is the mistake that's made, but you're going to go to school. Mm-hmm. You're going to become something. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be able to stand on your own 2 feet at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be in nothing you don't want to be in. Victims have to leave and find you a support system. The support system may not be your immediate family. It might not be your immediate friends because they don't agree with you leaving. So in that case, go out to a domestic abuse shelter. Ladies, go out there and find your support system because at the end of the day, you cannot stay somewhere where you are not safe. Safety is your main priority. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's sad because it's like people think more about, oh, if I leave, my family's going to be broken. If I leave... Man, your family might be broken if this person kills you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So you have to think about your own mental health and well-being. Abuse is abuse. And like I said, it's not going to go away if you don't remove yourself from the situation. You have to find that person. And I'm not saying that you can't come back with that person once they have had, counseling, realize that they're abusive and they want to change. A person has to want to change who they are. Does that happen often? I don't know. I don't know what I
was about to say. I don't think
the percentages of people changing 1%. Their abuse cycle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think once somebody's abusive, they're gonna.
You think so?
Abusive. Heck yeah, for sure.
The most important reason to leave, if you are in an abusive relationship, and you have children, it's because you don't want your kids to repeat that cycle. Please leave if you have children and you're in an abusive relationship, because they're watching, they're seeing it. Girls might get with boys that are abusive. Boys might become abusive. They may stay in relationships that are abusive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have to not allow that cycle to be passed on to our children at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's why my mother left. She was like, I will not allow my kids to see me. We seen the abuse. I will not allow this cycle to be passed on to my kids. And that's the reason that you should leave. Cassie didn't have children, but she wanted to have children. Diddy didn't want to have kids with her. You were with him for 10 years. He didn't want to have kids with you. You don't want to. Thank God you didn't have kids in that relationship, because that's a cycle of abuse that we pass down to our children. Please get out of the abusive relationship. There are support systems out there. There's groups out here to help women. There's shelters for domestic violence for men and women. Men are abused too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Men can go through abuse too, just like women. Make sure that you're out here. There's a domestic abuse hotline. Make sure you reach out to them. All you have to do is pick up your phone and Google it and get the domestic abuse hotline. Please get help. You know what I'm saying? I know that we're looking at this and it's, we're thinking about everything that's happened, but we have to think about being healthy humans. You cannot stay in a relationship with somebody who is abusing you. Please get help and get out. That's my suggestion.
Yeah. On a note, before we get out of here, breaking news for the day. They said Usher deleted all his tweets off his off his Twitter.
Is Usher scared that something's gonna happen?
I mean,
it's
look.
funny because he was in a interview and they asked him like about the Diddy stuff when he was there, and they were like, I think they asked him, did he participate or something like that?
What he said.
I don't know if he agreed that he participated, but he kind of alluded to what was going on.
Yeah.
And I think he said something like, I didn't say I didn't do it or I didn't participate or something like that. But he was like, with some stuff going on.
I mean, Justin Bieber was Usher's artist. And there's like a little clip from back in the day.
I seen that.
Yeah, and he's like, Bieber, why you don't want to hang out with me no more? Just everything seems mad suspect now. Anything Diddy ever did. Yeah.
They said that Usher gave Diddy 48 hours with Justin Bieber.
Yeah, that sounds
Is that
crazy.
True? Is that crazy?
What?
Like, how are you giving somebody your artist for 48 hours? Do you think that's true?
Yeah, it might be.
At this point, we don't know what's true or false. It's all going to come out in court,
man.
y'all. I'm going to say, ending this podcast, that innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
I think but like I said, the feds don't get involved unless there's a serious case.
Yeah.
This is an abuse case. It's a sex trafficking case. It's case of murder. They're trying to say that Diddy killed Tupac.
Yeah, put a hit on
and that he killed Biggie.
Oh, they saying that too? I ain't seen
Man,
that,
they're saying he killed Biggie, that he killed Kim Porter. Like, where's all of this coming from? Guys, please don't. I want to say don't be coerced by the media.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely on your opinion. I'm going to stick with, I do believe that Diddy was abusive to Cassie.
Yeah,
I do believe that we've seen the proof.
Mm-hmm.
That can translate into him being abusive to all women. That means that he could have abused Kim Porter. There's allegations that he has. People are coming out that have seen the abuse with Kim Porter. You're an accomplice because you've seen it and did nothing about it. You allowed this to happen because Diddy had money. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, we don't know until this trial comes out. I'm sure everything will come out in the trial. Mm-hmm. But like I said, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. That's it, too. To me, it's like they're proving him guilty before he's innocent. Like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, we're going to see how it all unfolds. Mm-hmm. Let's just stand by and watch. That's all we can do. Okay, this is the end of the podcast. Thank you for coming out. Make sure that you're watching us on YouTube. Apple Podcasts. We are on iHeartRadio and Spotify.
Yep,
Did I
and
miss
Facebook
anything?
too. Your Facebook going crazy right
My
now.
Facebook
so, yeah.
is going crazy.
Yeah, so
I don't know what happened.
That's where your audience at. You know, I've been trying. We just had to find your audience, and then now you just gotta keep feeding
Man, we
them.
just got to keep feeding it in.
Yeah.
We're working. Y'all, if you're following me on my personal page, go over to my TT's House podcast page. I'm trying to post on there more. I'm posting in both areas, and the people are commenting on my TT's House podcast. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Bienvenidos a todos mis nuevos amigos. I'm super excited. I got a whole bunch of new friends.
Yep.
I love watching, I even put in a video, like I love watching what people are doing, how they're living their lives, what you're eating, because I'm a foodie. I love food. So I like to see what you're cooking. Like I'm following people too, because I want to see what people are doing. Like
Yeah.
I'm curious to who's following me. So definitely, no, I do not check my inbox. I check 10 messages a day. I got over 400 and something messages sitting there. I cannot keep up with that. So I apologize. But I do want to say thank you to my new followers. Thank you for following at TT's House Podcast, at Delcy Smith Gonzalez. Like I appreciate it. So thank you once again. We'll be back next week.